Good morning, everybody, and thanks for waking up with the Chase.
No way.
My God!
Oh my God! That's a 1-1, ladies and gentlemen.
Go to Dave's camera. I must ask you a question right now.
1-1, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Oh,
Sit back, relax, and crack a cold one. The Chase is live. Hey, everyone. What is going on? I know you're not used to seeing us live on Thursday, so this might be a little weird for you. But as you can see here in the wide shot, we have a very, very special guest with us. A long laundry list of accomplishments. 6-time Vezina winner, 2-time Hart Trophy winner, 2-time Stanley Cup champion, gold medalist, the Dominator, Dominik Hasek. So please, chat, help us out. Everybody, give it up for the Dominator. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here with you guys.
Yeah, how was the trip been? How does it feel to be? I know you come back every once in a while now, but how's it feel to be back in Buffalo?
Every year come to Buffalo, except 2 years with COVID.
Sure.
So it was only 2 years since I retired from the NHL. I miss Buffalo. So every year I'm coming. Usually at this time of the year I'm coming to Buffalo, visit the people and meet you.
So I know you.
And by the way, the trip wasn't very easy. It's a long trip from Europe.
Oh, I could imagine.
It's a long trip from Europe. I have a little bit jet lags, but I'm fine.
I was gonna say you look fine. You don't look a bit tired. You look like you're such a pro at this point, right? Doing all this stuff.
I woke up 4:00 morning today, so with the time changing is a little bit. But it takes a while.
It's worth it for the chicken wings, right?
Yeah, right. For the way, all the food here, everything you get. But I can strongly say 4:00. I was still snoozing because I had to prepare for this. Okay. I wanted to make sure I was ready.
He had to get his beauty rest.
So, well, as you can see, it didn't really do much. Still need a little help here. But I don't know if you've ever done anything like this before. I know you've opened the cards with us before. But today what we're going to do is we have a special episode that we do an AMA or Ask Me Anything. Mm-hmm. So we've gathered some questions from emails, social media, and then, of course, in the chat, they will probably put some questions in there as well. So if you feel comfortable with answering those, we'd love to ask you that.
In worst case, say no answer. No
That's
comment.
right. No comment.
No comment.
He's a PR professional. See, that guy behind the camera must have prepped you, didn't he? For sure. So as we're doing this, though, we're going to open the cards. All the packs are going to be given away. So I know everybody's probably going to be excited for the 2020, 2021 stuff. I mean, right? That's cool and all. But guys, come on. 93, 94 Upper Deck Series 2?
Let's check out some legends.
Some legends and a lot of guys that you probably played with and against.
Probably many of them I play against. Some I play with. So we'll see what we find over there.
We'll see. Absolutely. All right. So, without wasting too much time, you guys ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Let's go.
He's ready to go. All right. Let's get into it. So why don't I open the box first, and we're going to divvy this up. It is 36 packs. So, and feel free if you see somebody that you want to share a story about or anything like that, interrupt us. We talk too much anyways. Mm-hmm. We want to hear from you for sure. All right, here we go, guys.
Let's see what we got here.
This is some awesome stuff. I'm excited. I'm more excited about this.
I like this cutter.
You can have it.
No.
It's on us. Okay. There you go. Just I don't know how that'll travel through the airport with you.
No.
Yeah. Not well. All right, David, I usually like to let you choose. So you want to take 2 stacks? Which ones do you want?
The left side.
The left side. Elena's giving you the thumbs up. David always takes the right side because he thinks it's going to be on the right foot.
Yeah, we're mixing it up.
All right. So pardon me for reaching over you, sir.
Yeah, let me.
Oh, yeah? There you go. Look at the helping
Transfer
hands.
system.
He spent enough.
Thank you.
He spent enough years in Buffalo. He knows it's the city of good neighbors, so he's helping us out there. All right, empty box. I think we're going to keep the box. It'll be a little bit of a souvenir. All right, so why don't we get rolling, too? As we open these, we'll kind of ask you questions as we go along. So the first one we have here is from Jared S. He wanted to ask you, getting away from the actual play on ice, what was your favorite city to visit as a player on the road, and why?
Favorite city in the NHL? My favorite city were these cities where we were winning the games.
It's a very, I like that. It's a very diplomatic answer right there. Oh, these
Actually,
guys.
I like Montreal.
Yeah.
Montreal is a good city. Great place to play hockey. And I always like to go down to Florida. To spend a few days in Tampa and Miami, on the beach or playing golf or whatever. So what else was my favorite city? I would pick definitely Florida, definitely Montreal, and Vancouver. Vancouver is nice also.
I heard Vancouver is gorgeous. Never had a chance to go. But I'm sure you needed a little
Vancouver
break from the
only
cold.
in wintertime it's raining all the time.
Yeah. Oh, here you go. How about couple teammates here maybe. First, we've got Matthew Barnaby.
Show me
Yeah,
this guy.
yeah. Here.
Matthew.
Matthew.
So this is what year? 1994?
This is, 93, 94 season
yep.
it would be. And Bob Sweeney there as well.
Bob Sweeney,
Yeah.
The right-handed forehand, right-handed forward, Bob Sweeney, he was a center. Matthew, he was everything.
He was just kind of an all-around, right?
Yeah.
David, how about you want to go too?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, we'll go back and forth. But, some notable names there.
For 83 in the
All
chat.
right, congratulations, H. Cooper, 83. You are getting the first pack there. I pulled out a Rick Tocchet, too, because if you guys are familiar with this day's NHL, he is on the broadcast team for TNT. Have you ever done anything like that? Like, have they ever asked you to do any, like, broadcast work, like on a panel or anything?
I was a few times on the Czech TV, like one of the people for commentating, but it wasn't my desire. Maybe once a year I go and talk about hockey, but not on an everyday basis. I'm not a professional speaker.
Sure, right. You weren't necessarily into the whole, the analysis, It's too much work, right? You had to do research.
Yeah, what I like, I wake up in the morning and I watch the highlights. That's the best thing to do.
That's my style, exactly.
I wake up and see, let's see what happened in the NHL, and I can see some highlights from every game. That's the way I do it.
That's perfect. Yeah, exactly. You need those little snippets. Do you still keeping up with the highlights? Are there still some players or just plays that you see out there now that you're just still kind of wowed by?
No, of course I watch McDavid.
Oh, absolutely.
And I watch Pastrňák, who is right now is the best Czech player. However, you have to think there is 6 hours difference, so I am not watching at night. But when I wake up in the morning, the game is over, so I can see the highlights.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course I follow
right.
the Buffalo Sabres and Detroit Red Wings. They are my
course.
two favorite teams.
Of course.
So that next pack was won by Rob Fried 11.
Rob Fried 11, congratulations. You are going away with the next pack there. All right.
Is it Brian Noonan, this guy? I don't see.
On the ground there?
Noonan, no.
It almost looks like old chick.
Oh,
Possibly.
Olczyk, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think it's old
yeah.
chick.
Here you
It's the
go.
New York Rangers, yeah?
Yeah.
Right off the top here, the goalie that you ended up replacing when you came to Buffalo, Grant Fuhr.
Yes, we played together for 1.5 seasons, yeah.
What was that like?
Grant, he came from Toronto and he played really well the first season, but second season he got injured right in the beginning and he missed like first half of the season. I get a chance to play and I played so well. It was my first full season. I actually on the end of the season I won my first Vezina trophy.
Yeah.
And we together we won the Jennings trophy. And after the season, John Mackler, he was our GM, decided to trade Grant Fuhr, and I stayed in Buffalo, and he went to St. Louis. No, he went to LA.
He went to LA,
to
yeah,
LA
yeah.
for like 2 years, and then to
St. Louis, right? So speaking of that, how about, I think this is the Czech kid that ended up replacing Grant Fuhr when he got injured. Do you recognize that guy?
Okay, I know. yeah, okay. I wish I kept some of the equipment. Look at that glove. I don't have this glove. It was Louisville glove, 99. It is season 92-93. The picture is from 92-93 season.
Is it kind of funny seeing
Die-cut
yourself?
Lindros.
Is it kind of funny seeing yourself on a card every now and then?
Yeah. Yeah, I like the pads. I play only 1 year with these pads, 1 year with this glove. Yeah, I still remember. Yeah.
So not getting a chance to play with Grant too much, but the experience he had coming from Edmonton, being a multi-time Stanley Cup champion. Did you have a chance to learn anything from him? Kind of pick his brain or anything like that?
Of course, we were talking about goaltending, and of course he won 5 maybe, 4 or 5 Stanley Cups. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, no, it's okay. No quiz at the end. I promise.
But I have to say he had completely different style than me. First of all, my blocker was here, his blocker was in the left hand. So,
sure.
And his style was different. He was so fast, so quick, but he wasn't butterfly goal like me. And yeah, we were talking about hockey, we were talking about goaltending, but like I say, our style was completely different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. I'd like to get back to some of the viewer questions. Here's a question from Brian S. He asks, what goal scorer now or during your era would you not want to go up against in a shootout?
Shootout is a little bit different competition,
Right.
Shootout is shootout, and in 90s there were no shootouts after the game. I mean after the overtime. Mm-hmm. Even when I retired from the NHL, I faced only maybe 10 shootouts through my career because it was only during the game. You know, when somebody hooks someone.
Right.
So it's a different situation right now. You face many shootouts during the season. Almost every 5th game there is a shootout. So I'm not talking about a shootout, but I would talk about the goal scorers. And I think in my era, the best goal scorers in 90s and 2000 were, I would pick 2 guys. It was Brett Hull and Mario Lemieux. These 2 guys were like the best goal scorers in the league, I think, who I play against. And definitely I have to go also with my countryman, Jaromir Jagr, who was also an unbelievable player. But if I have to pick one of them, I probably pick Brett Hull as the best goal scorer.
Now, funny you bring up Brett Hull, right? Obviously, a lot of history there between the two of you. I was curious, having played against him in the Stanley Cup, but then only a few short years later, you're standing alongside him hoisting the cup. What was that like for you?
I got this question at least a few times, maybe many times.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, so let's talk about no goal in Buffalo. And seriously, we were good friends, great teammates. I mean, he was still a great player when he played for the Red Wings. And we never ever talk about this goal. It never came. He never made fun of me. I never asked him the question. And I think first time we talk about it was after we won the cup, and then we were making fun about it. But seriously, and there was many reporters who were asking me, like, did you talk to Brett Hull about this no goal? I said, no, never. It's like he never asked me, I never asked him. Not after we won the cup.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
that was interesting. I just not even having the conversation, but yeah, it's just
never mentioned. It was like something. No, don't talk about.
That's funny. So currently we have a question in the chat that I think would be awesome to ask you. I'm Cheesy39. Do you have a current NHL goalie that is your favorite to watch?
First of all, 39. I started to wear in Buffalo, and I was 27. I still remember that day. It was day or two before the training camp, sitting on the bench. We were practicing with other guys, and Rip Simonik, the equipment manager, came to me and he asked me, like, what number do we want to wear? And I'll be honest, never ever asked me what number I have. Since my childhood, they gave me the jersey and play whatever it is, so I put it on. So it was first time ever they asked me for the number. So I said 39. I had some reason to put 39 on because I used to play with 9 in Czech. Anyway, the best goalie in the NHL, I have to say, I don't watch games on a regular basis. I watch the highlights. And again, if I pick one goalie, I go with Vasilevsky. I like his style. I like he's big. He has good butterfly. He can, for his size, he's unbelievable how fast he is and how he can move. So, but I'm all sure there are some other great goalies. But from highlights, you need to watch every game. You need to watch it like.
Yeah.
And I don't do it anymore. I watch the highlights, but still, to win 2 cups, I think he has 1 or 2 Vezina trophies. Last year they didn't win the cup, but he still play very well. He brought the team to the finals. So if I'll go with one goalie, I'll go with Vasilevsky.
Yeah, and like you said, side to side for what he was able to do at his height too. He's a big boy. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely one to
I'm
keep an
like
eye on.
6'2". He's probably 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
And still he can move very fast.
Right. Yeah. Back side to side.
And good skater, skate. You need to be good skater. Sometimes you talk about goalies and you talk about the speed and these things, and goalie has to be very good skater.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Speaking of goalies, just got one. Chris Osgood.
Oh, give me Chris.
Yes.
Yeah, good friend of mine. Yeah.
You got any stories about Chris?
When I came first time to Buffalo, he was traded because he went to Islanders. So when we won first cup with the Red Wings, he wasn't there. But my last 2 years with the Red Wings, we spent together, and actually, first year I was playing most of the games. The second year we split like half and half. And in the finals he played more the playoffs he played more games than I did. So fun to be with him. We were always talking about hockey and about goaltending, about the other team. And by the way, he was using the helmet until the end of his career, you see? Similar like me.
Yes.
You see the helmet?
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't have the mask like the other goalies. He used this helmet.
Which you bring up that mask, and I'm just very curious. Did you, growing up as a kid, did you just play with a mask like that your whole career, or
I have the picture. My first year I played without mask. I had the helmet only.
Yeah.
I was 6-year-old when I came to the ring. No any mask for Dominik, but the kids they couldn't put the puck high, so it wasn't a problem. So my first year I had a helmet, no mask. Second year, I still remember it. I had a mask, like the mask were in 60s and 70s. However, there is no any picture of mine when I'm using this mask. Unfortunately, I still remember it, but there is no one. And I've talked about it on TV in Czech. I said, if anybody has a picture of the goalie in Pardubice, a little kid with the mask, please call, and I'll be glad to see myself. I know. Nobody called me, nobody sent any emails.
Nothing,
so probably there
huh?
is no picture of mine from year 71, 72 when I was using this mask. And after I got a helmet with a cage like you see on this picture. Only different helmet, different cage, and since then I always play with the helmet and with the cage.
Yeah, I noticed you never see anyone do any like that type of mask anymore. So you kind of set your own trend there.
I like it. I like it more. I had said that I tried a mask like the other goalie, like Grand Fuhr has on this picture.
Right.
I tried twice in the practice. It didn't work for me. There are certain things I didn't like about the mask, so I stick with the helmet and the cage the whole career.
What maybe there's pros and cons to everything, but what were those pros that you felt like you got out of using the helmet with the cage?
I like
better vision.
Vision. I had a helmet which was stuck to my head, very like that.
Tight.
Tight.
Yeah,
very
it
tight.
wasn't coming off.
Yeah, and when I was moving from side to side, I felt more comfortable with this helmet, and also when I move my neck from one side to side, I felt more comfortable with this kind of cage. Anyway, I don't want to make it complicated. I stick with it, and I play pretty well, so I had a reason
There
to
you
stick
go.
with
Right?
it.
If it's not broke, you don't got to fix it, right?
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one. This seems to be a tall tale that roams around the Western New York area. Jen L here. She asks you, did you really leave the car you won with the Vezina trophy in the basement of the Odd? Apparently, this is a rumor.
One more time. If I left the car,
She asked if you really left the car you won the Vesna Trophy with in the basement of the Odd. Apparently, somebody says you.
no.
So you're debunking that right now. That is not a real thing.
No.
There you go. So solved. Case closed right there. Case closed.
Speaking of the Sabres, obviously they came out with the red, white, and black jerseys again, but they're normal jersey colors, blue and gold. I gotta ask you, what was your favorite color scheme?
My best years with the Sabres were with the black, white, and silver. However, I have to say, these are the colors for the Buffalo Sabres. So I always go with the white, blue, and gold. Definitely, these are our colors, and it should stay like that. Once a while you can play with the other jersey. There were also the red one. I don't know if you remember. We had a red jersey also
one.
for 1 year or something. And once a while, if you play with the black, silver, and white, that's okay. But for the Buffalo Sabres, you have to stick with the blue, white, and gold. This is the Buffalo Sabres.
I would agree.
So I don't know how much you are of a fat.
Troy might give you an argument, as you can tell.
Yeah, I was like, should I wear it? I don't know.
Once a while, it's okay.
Yeah, not every once in a while, right? So I don't know how much of a fashion guy you are in terms of the sweaters that you wore during your career, but we talk about the Sabres. You spent 1 year with the Ottawa Senators.
Yep.
I don't know. How did you feel about those when you got a chance to wear that? Because in that particular era, the three jerseys that they had, the home, away, and the alternates, I thought those were gorgeous.
I don't remember.
No? Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair.
I have to look at the pictures. I have to, if you have somewhere the pictures.
That's why the internet is a wonderful thing.
I spent there 1 year. It was 2005, 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved back to Detroit. And Ottawa was fun for me, definitely. However, one short season.
See if I can enlarge it here for you. Because I thought, I did. I pulled it up.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice jerseys. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I felt like almost an underrated jersey that you got a chance to wear.
I think I have these pads at home still.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Helmet.
With the gold on there, yeah?
But I don't have the helmet, unfortunately. I don't know what is the helmet.
Which for a while, too, I think the helmet was just kind of... you had more of a plain design on your helmet, but there we see that you had some airbrush
I
work.
had plain design in the 90s, but usually when I played in Detroit and in Ottawa, I had nice design on the helmet also.
So we also had a question come in from Eric W. And before I ask this, I'm going to remind you that he is a Red Wing fan. He said, who was your favorite NHL team to play for? You could even select your favorite year, whatever.
No, it's for me. It's a difficult question, and I got it recently. It's hard for me to pick one team. However, I'll be honest. My jersey is retired here in Buffalo. So, and in Buffalo, I became the star of the. I got a chance to be starting goalie in Buffalo. I had great success with the Buffalo Sabres, brought for the Czech national team the Olympic gold medal. We made it to the finals, never won the cup. So what's the name of this kid?
Eric,
I'm sorry, if there is one team I go with, number one, it will be Buffalo Sabres. However, Detroit is also in my heart, and 4 years I spent there, and to win 2 cups, and to play with the players like Stevie Yzerman, Brendan Shedden, Chris Chelios, Nick Lidström, Brett Hull, Luke Robitaille. There are so many. Datsyuk, Fedorov, Larionov, other great players, great experience. So Red Wings and the Sabres, they'll stay always in my heart, and what a great organization I could play for.
And, you run down that that list of so many Hall of Famers. You know, you all having a chance to play together.
Probably I could continue. There's a few more of them, yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, how much fun did you have that year? Because, you know, Chris and I were talking earlier that there was just so many that team was unbelievably stacked.
And you know who was the coach?
Who was it at that time?
Scotty.
Was it Scotty? Okay, I thought it was Scotty. I wanted to make sure.
It's important that he was the coach. He knew how to handle the big stars. You know, it wasn't easy it wouldn't be easy for any coach to coach so many stars and make a great team of them. And you know, we were playing well the whole season. We won President's Trophy or whatever is the name of the trophy with most points. However, it wasn't easy to win the cup. By the way, we were down 2-0 against Vancouver in the first round. We were down 3-2 against Colorado in the semifinals. But we managed to win this series and then to win the cup. But the stars and great players don't have to win the cup. You know, you need a good coach and you have to work for the team. And we also had the best captain with Stevie Yzerman.
Yeah.
And finally, you know, we've done what was our goal from the game one of the season. But I have to go back to it, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to win the cup, even with the best players in the world.
You know, you talk about that series you had with Colorado, and you know, knowing what kind of rivalry that was between the two teams that you were going into. Did the atmosphere feel different during that series, and you know, being across the ice from Patrick Roy?
Yeah. No, actually, atmosphere in Detroit to play against Colorado was always different, always very special. Even during the season, you could feel it in the air or in the building. The atmosphere was different. They knew their best team. They won year before. They won the cup.
Yep.
And there were many big games against Colorado because there was Joe Sakic, Forsberg as the two best forwards in the top forwards in the league. Adam Foote, I think Blake was the defenseman, and Patrick Roy in the net. So there was a huge rivalry between Colorado and Detroit. And I remember when they beat San Jose in the quarterfinals, and the whole city was talking. If you beat Colorado, you win the cup, which we done. But it wasn't easy. Like we were down 3-2. We went to Colorado, but we beat them 2-0 in Colorado, and then we came home and we beat them 7-0. So, but I still remember it wasn't easy, and they were the champions.
Yeah,
they were the champions year before.
And you know, something there too, like whether it's playoffs or even just a regular season game. You know, what is it like to go to some of those away barns, you know, like Colorado or, you know, the big game fields, or, you know, when you were in Buffalo, Toronto, what's that like, you know, that headspace you have to get into or anything like that when you're in an away arena?
First of all, you like arena when it's sold out and the people get crazy. You like it, you know, that's what is hockey about. You know, I always walk on the ice and look at the stands, and I felt when they were screaming and yelling, and you see sold out 19,000 people, you know, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling, and that's what hockey is about. A regular season is a regular season, but to be in the playoffs is always even higher, something very special. Now, and that didn't matter. Toronto, great series. Boston, Montreal, you know, all these teams, they were good rivalries at this time. And Philadelphia was the great rivalry with Eric Lindros,
Oh, I can imagine.
Legend of Doom,
Yeah, right, yeah.
I think we beat them twice and they beat us twice,
Now, I got to ask, because I've heard that these are just the biggest celebrations of all time. What is a Stanley Cup celebration like with a team? Like, what is that celebration like?
What can I say? To be in the playoffs, it's like for 2 months of hockey. You know, 2 months you work so hard, you know, to win one. You need to win 4 series.
Right.
So, and it happened twice to me. You know, there are some big guys, great players. It never happened to them, unfortunately. You know, sometimes you have to be lucky. You have to be at the right time on the right team. You know, it's and to win my first Stanley Cup with the Red Wings. this is something I never forget. It was at home, which makes you even nicer. It's always nice to win the last game at home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you celebrate with 18, 19,000 people. And I still remember, I will remember for the rest of my life. I will remember the parade in Detroit. It was a beautiful day, sunshine, we were in the cars, they were, I don't know, they say 1 million people. I don't believe it is 1 million people, but it was a few 100,000.
Yeah.
And we celebrate, the Stanley Cup with them. And this is something there are certain things from the ice and off the ice you will remember for the rest of your life. So, and this is when we won in our building the cup, and this is when we went for the parade. It was very, very special.
Yeah, and I can imagine something like that almost feels like it's out of a movie, almost. One of those situations.
Yeah.
Just surreal,
This is something you dream about.
Yeah.
You dream about like a kid, you dream about maybe even as an adult, because there are 30 teams or 31 in the NHL right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe
And
so.
We saw with the addition of Seattle.
And on the end of the day, it's only one can be the winner. So this is something you can dream about, and you have to do a lot to do it. But still, I believe even you are a great player, you have to have great teammates, great coaches, and you have to be a little bit lucky.
Absolutely. A little bit of luck. Sprinkle that in there for sure.
A little bit of luck always helps. So
Yeah.
Now, you want to go?
I was just going to ask, because I know a few people have asked this. Your nickname, the Dominator. Explain it. How did it come about?
I wish that somebody explained to me. I don't know. I have feeling, but I cannot say it 100%. Dominik. Okay, it started D-O start my name and the nickname. I think I got this nickname from Rick Jenneret. Rick Jenneret, everybody knows him in Buffalo.
Oh, yes.
Of course.
I cannot say it for sure, but I think it was him who first time said on TV, like, damn, the Dominator made a save. So I think I got his nickname from him, but cannot say for sure, like 100%. And by the way, I like the nickname. However, myself, I never call myself Dominator. For my friends and for everybody, I'm Dominik or Dominik Hasek. When I sign like Dominik Hasek, never sign like Dominator. However, I like that nickname, and it was special.
No.
Absolutely.
Now, Troy, I don't mean to...
So I think it's Rick Jenneret who has a credit for this nickname.
I think he deserves the credit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got a couple guys here that I think you might know. A certain Mario Lemieux and Steve Yzerman.
May I see it,
So
please?
yes, there you go.
By the way, both are forwards.
I'm sorry?
Both are forwards. I mean centers. And both are right-handed. And I think Mario Lemieux is born in 66, and Stevie is 1 year older, 65. And by the way, I play against them in Russia at the junior world championship, and they were two youngest guy on the team, and they play that year on the fourth line. I didn't even know.
Wow.
I found out a few years later, and I don't remember the final score. I think it was tie, like 5-5, and we finished second. They finished third. So
What was it?
But what a two great players. I mean, Mario, he was the best. He was the best player in '90s. I would say. Wayne Gretzky, he was the best player in '80s. Mario Lemieux, he was the best player in '90s, and Stevie Yzerman, he was greatest captain ever. Let's make it this way.
What was that like facing Lemieux? Obviously, you call him the best of the 90s. When you step out on the ice against the Penguins, what is it like having to go toe-to-toe with him?
They were so powerful. They had a great team. Maybe the best offensive team in the league. And there was Mario, there was Francis, there was Larry Murphy on the blue line, and there was Jaromír Jágr. And there were some other good players. Richie Tocchet, Rick Tocchet was there.
Yep.
Joe Mullen, a few other guys. I don't remember all of them, but offensively they were best team in the league. I think it wasn't. And Mario, he was the best. It's like he was unbelievable.
Now, you've been doing a great job answering our questions, helping us out with that. But I feel bad. Do you want to get in on the fun?
What do you mean?
Do you want to open up?
Yeah, I open
Check
it.
them out. Yeah.
Let's see who's gonna be there. I see somebody from Canucks. it's my teammate from the Czech Republic, Yuri Schleger.
Really? Right off the top. Look at this.
I've seen him a few weeks ago. Yeah, I check. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
No,
That's,
he was my teammate from the Olympics 1998 when we won the gold medal. Yeah.
what kind of honor was that like to be playing for your country and bringing home that gold? You know, you talk about Stanley Cup,
It's
but
probably proudest moment of my hockey career. You know, I was born in the Czech Republic. I was raised in the Czech Republic. They taught me to play hockey in the Czech Republic. So when we won the gold medal, actually we beat Russians in the finals. We beat them 1-0. It was probably the proudest day of my hockey career and of my life. Something the people in Czech, you know, they will never forget what we've done for the country. Let me see who is this guy from Boston.
Some of the cards are sticking together. They're a little old.
Ronnie Hextall
Ron Hextall.
from Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
Nobody played in 90s. There was no goalie who handled the puck like him. He scored 2 goals, by the way. He scored first goal ever in the NHL, and he scored, I think, first goal ever in the playoffs. No, I mean, nobody shot the puck. There was no goalie who could handle the puck like him. Now everybody can handle the puck, but at his time, he was the best by far.
I feel like what a mean streak he had too, though. He wasn't afraid to go out and, you know, hack some shins if he had to.
Yeah. I seen him play. I played Canada Cup 87 against him also. He was on the Canadian team. Actually, we played many games against each other. He played in Philadelphia and of course I play in Buffalo.
Oh, I got to ask because that's
By the
something
way-
you don't see a lot is goalies recording points in a game.
Yeah.
I noticed you've had a few assists in your career. What is it like to record a point in a game as a goalie?
Let's say it this way, I wasn't the best stick handler. I came from Europe, and I have to say, up till age of 25, I didn't even try to pass the puck or something. The coaches in Europe, they told me, stop the puck and freeze it, or just give it to someone and don't try to do anything else.
Right.
So I came, at the age of 25, I came to Chicago to the NHL, and so the puck goes around the border, and my teammates, they waiting, I don't do anything. You know, I wasn't used to do outside of the net.
Sure.
And stop the puck and handle the puck. So I had to learn everything from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, and I reached certain level, but still never was as good as Ronnie Hextall. And you know who is this guy?
Oh, Brodeur.
Marty Brodeur.
Ah,
They were
of
like
course.
2 best stick handlers in the league, by the way. Marty, I don't know who was better, but they both were good, very good goalies, and the way they could pass the puck, they were very good. Anyway, I reached certain level, and one season, I think I had 4 or 5 points. And some of these points, sometimes it could be good pass, sometimes you make a save, somebody grabs the puck, passes to someone, and he scores a goal. So, let's say it makes you good if you see that Dominik Hasek had an assist. However, the goalie, I consider him more important is to stop the puck and,
Of course.
and get a team to change the win. But anyway, the best 2 stick handlers when I played the game was Ronnie Hextall and Marty Brodeur.
Grabbed another one for you if you'd like. So we talk a lot about the greats that you've played with, but we had a question from someone in the chat, Bloomy23. He wanted to know, who do you think was, one of or a couple of the best underrated players you would say that you got a chance to play with?
One of the underrated players, definitely on team I play here in Buffalo, was Richard Schmelik. Good friend of mine, he still lives in Buffalo. I moved back to the Czech Republic, and he decided to stay in Buffalo. He's taking care of the dogs. I don't know. He has a hotel for the dogs. Or I don't know how you call it exactly. But,
Sure.
But he's working with dogs. Let's make it this way. And he was a very, very good defenseman. And I think, he played with Alex Žitník.
Yeah.
Other great guy. Actually, we are in touch. And if I say one underrated player, I really like to play with him, and he was helping me a lot. So it's Richard Schmelik, definitely.
Very nice. Yeah, and go ahead.
No, I was just
Okay. Markus Neslund.
Marcus
Markus
Naslund.
Neslund with Penguins, but he spent the best part of his career. Then he moved to Vancouver, and he was a great player in Vancouver.
I love looking at some of these pictures and seeing like the sticks from back in the day, like the Sherwoods, and now you look at the sticks nowadays, and it's just like
Yeah.
all new technology.
They were wooden sticks most of the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And how do you think, throughout your career, the technology changed, that type of thing? Because you did, you played early 90s, but also into the 2000s where, goal scoring and the speed of the game, I feel like, got a little faster and different things like that.
I have to go back like in 70s, 80s, and the equipment got much better. Much better, now the goalies, they don't have to be afraid they could be hit. Like in 80s and 90s, there were certain areas like here, this bone, it hurt. It really hurt when you got hit over here. And the sticks are better, the skates are better, the catching glove blocker, they are much better right now. So it's different when you see our equipment in 80s and when you see it now. So the goalies they are much better protected than it used to be.
I could imagine. I could imagine. Another question here we have from Darth Yoda. He asked, you having an unconventional style, as he called it, he wants to know, how did you kind of get along with your goalie coaches?
I never had a goalie coach. I never had a goalie coach until I came to play for the Buffalo Sabres.
Sure.
And so I sort of developed my style watching the other goalies and do whatever is good for me. And in 1993, I got first goalie coach who was Mitch Korn. And we start to work on my style and improve it, and it sort of helped me. It definitely helped me. And of course, however, as a kid in the Czech Republic, I never had a goalie coach, and I was just go on the ice and stop the puck.
Right, yeah. That was the main objective. Yeah. But it was never like a technique or, that type of thing.
No, it's completely different right now. Everybody has a goalie coach. There's goalie coaches, they're working with the goalies. But when I was a kid, everything was a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if we had a question come in on Instagram. And the question was, how many coaches said your unorthodox style wouldn't work? But you had no goalie coach, so you do you.
I still remember I was my first year in Chicago, and I didn't speak English.
There you go, Fedorov.
I didn't speak English, and Daryl Sittler, he was my coach, Mike Keenan and Daryl Sittler. And Daryl, he was talking the papers that I'm like the fish on the beach or something. But the good thing for me, I didn't speak any English. So I didn't pay attention what he said. I was just doing what I was doing before, and it didn't bother me. So I stick with my style, and finally it starts to work. So what I want to say, I didn't pay attention what some coaches says because I didn't understand English.
Makes sense.
Now, do you mind if I clear some space? We'll get those. I gotta be one of those, but if you mind, I don't want to reach in front of you here, but.
Oh, here's a guy.
He's up.
Here's another guy you might know, Dale Howardchuk.
Dale, and I have someone who I play with, and he's a great player. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah, Dave Anderchuk.
Oh,
we
yes.
talk about Dale Howardchuk, but
Matt-
Dave Anderchuk.
Right as we say that, Matthew Barnaby, right here.
Uh-huh. What did you like about Dave's game?
Dave Andreychuk, he was the best player around the net. He was big, he was tall. Nobody had better deflection than him. I think only Dino Ciccarelli and Dale, Dave Andrejchak, they were unbelievable. Like around the net, seriously. He had long reach and he could deflect the puck from anywhere. By the way, Dale Andrejchak, he's not with us anymore, but he was the best stick handler I played with. He wasn't the best skater. His skating was not the best, but the way he could handle the puck, he could pass the puck, he was unbelievable.
Now, just for you guys watching at home and everybody in the chat, just want to let you know that the packs that Dominik was so nice enough and had fun with us to open up, we'll be ranting those packs that he opened off to one person at the end of this. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you are in the chat and make sure you're chatting. You got to be active in the chat. Make sure that you're typing some stuff and putting it in there in order to have a chance to win. Now, I've got my last pack here. I know, David, you got a few more packs, so we can rip through those, and then we can get on to the 2020, 2021 stuff. And the reason that we chose these products is because we are able to get your autographs out of these products. So another question we got here.
Let me see, who is this?
Yeah, this is Manny Fernandez.
Oh, okay, I thought it's a Red Wings jersey. It's not a Red Wings jersey.
Yeah.
No. It's a red and white, but it's not a...
I can see how that would have tripped you up there, for sure, from afar.
Yeah.
Now we have another question here from our list here that we gathered. This one is from Michael F., and he asks you, what was your favorite pregame meal?
I think it was spaghetti. Spaghetti and chicken. And always before I left the house or before I left the hotel, on the road you leave the hotel, and home you leave your home. I always had toast with butter and marmalade. Yeah.
Toast with... So there you go. If you want to become a Vezina winning goalie, I think you should probably follow that diet. That's inside nutrition right there, basically. Spaghetti and chicken.
I'm more of a chicken and rice kind of guy.
You know what? I don't think I ever had rice before the game.
Really?
No.
I hear that a lot, though. I feel like you hear different athletes, or I don't know, maybe people that you think they're athletes, but I feel like spaghetti, carbs. I feel like that's a very go-to pregame meal for a lot of people.
Probably. Yeah, on the road, definitely. And at home, same thing. Sometimes you got used to eat something and you stick with it.
Right.
So,
Ron Hextall.
And spaghetti, it's pretty good food, I still like to have it.
Absolutely. Spaghetti never did me wrong. I feel like spaghetti's always consistent. Yeah. It's there for you, right?
Yeah. With the red sauce, not the carbonara or whatever. Yeah.
No, we want the red sauce.
Yeah.
We want the marinara.
Marinara, yeah. Carbonara, not carbonara.
Now, in addition to pregame meal, did you have like a pregame routine of any sort?
Not too much. No.
Didn't have like a song you'd listen to or anything?
No, not. Only what I like. I in Buffalo, even in Detroit, I had always nail clippers next to me. Mm-hmm. So usually between the periods when I had nothing to say, I took care of my nails. This was something, but I could live without it. But still, I had my nail clippers, and if I felt like, I just cut my nails.
I mean, personally, I appreciate the fact that you kept the cosmetics, even though your hands were going to be in gloves the whole time.
Yeah. Got to take care of the hands, man.
Yeah, so in case you wanted a career after hockey in hand modeling, right?
No.
Yeah. Nope, none of that. So Brett G wanted to ask you here too. He was curious. Did you collect any cards or anything like that as a kid growing up in the Czech?
I didn't know about collecting, first of all. Collecting, I find out later about these kind of cards. Mm-hmm. But I had my heroes in hockey and in different sports, and I when I saw them in magazine or somewhere, I cut them, I kept them. I had these great heroes like 10. We are talking about the 80s. It's a little bit far.
Totally.
I'm sorry for the young kids, but my biggest hero, for example, Björn Borg, the unbelievable tennis player from Sweden with the long hair.
Oh yeah.
So of course I had a of his photograph somewhere. And some soccer players like Diego Maradona.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, the hockey players, My heroes was the Czech hockey players and Czech great goalies and great players. Like they play in Canada Cup 76 and Canada Cup 76.
Sure.
So I was still a little kid.
Yeah.
I was like 10, 11 years old. So this is the age you admire most, the big guys.
Of course.
Later I play with them or against them, but at age of 10, usually you are the one you sit behind the board.
Yeah.
Or by the TV and watch the big guys how to play and you think and you dream about what you can do one day. So talking about collecting, I keep some cards, I keep some photos. I have some photos, even the player. We've seen like Mario Lemieux, So Stevie Yzerman, actually, I have Steve Yzerman picture on my wall, in my house. Steve Yzerman with Mr. Hockey, Mr. Gordie Howe.
Of course, yeah.
And
wow.
I just bought it, of course, Stevie could sign it for me, but I said, no. I bought a picture from the Red Wings, it's on my wall, Mr. Hockey and Stevie Yzerman sitting on the bench, and it's a black and white picture.
Yeah. And amazing. It's got to be amazing to have some of those things on your wall that, you may be kind of blind to it sometimes when you're just walking through the house, but then other times you see it in the wall and it kind of brings back memories.
There are certain people you have special memory to them, and definitely Stevie Yzerman is one of them, and Mr. Hockey, Mr. Gordie Howe, he is from Detroit area. Actually, he was, and he lived in Michigan, and a few times every year he came to our locker room. I could talk to him. And you know the story he told me? He told me that he was starting as a goalie, but he got hit a few times and he said, no more goalie, I want to be the forward.
That was it. I know. I feel like sometimes it takes a special type of human to really want to play goalie, honestly.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. You have to be special.
Yeah. I say that in the best way possible. That's with the utmost respect.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about soccer a little bit. You talked about tennis. So maybe not necessarily now, but throughout your career or just growing up, what was that other sport that you kind of followed or had an interest in?
First of all, there were no Facebooks. There was no internet.
Right.
There was radio and TV with one program. Later on with two programs. So you couldn't see so much soccer. You couldn't see so much hockey on TV. I never saw NHL up till age of 18.
Wow.
Maybe a little bit early. But in 70s, we couldn't see the big stars in the NHL. I could see them in Canada Cup 76, first time ever. Like players like Bobby Orr or Rocky Vachon, the goalie, Tony Esposito and Phil Esposito and some other great players.
Yeah.
So what was the question? I forgot.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
What was the question?
No.
About the sports.
Yeah, so I didn't know if, but obviously hockey being the main one.
What I was.
Yeah, if there was anything else that you were following with.
Yes. So I always followed hockey, and the sports like soccer is big in Europe,
Yeah.
So I followed the great team like. I don't want to go back to, because some people don't know, like Franz Beckenbauer, Johan Cruyff from Netherlands, and some other great players. So tennis was a sport. I could see Wimbledon when Björn Borg played.
Yeah.
So these were my three sports I could see on TV. I admired them. So it was, number one was hockey, of course, then football, soccer, and tennis. And by the way, I was playing tennis also, and I played tennis up till age of 13 or 14, and before I went to the high school, and I had to decide I stick with tennis or I stick with hockey, and definitely hockey was. I wasn't bad tennis player, but I was better hockey player. Let's make it.
Do you think though, playing tennis, that hand-eye coordination that you had to have there, do you think that helped you?
Every sport helps you. Every sport. I always say to young kids, you want to be a hockey player, that's great, but be sure you can, if you have time and you have support of your family, do some other sports. in summer play soccer or play tennis or maybe something different, play
Yeah.
basketball, it will help you. It definitely help any kid to do up till age of, it depends, every kid is different, but I would say when you are in the elementary and middle school, maybe you still have enough time to do more sports and do not play hockey. So talking about the tennis, it helped me a lot. And even through my hockey career, even when I played in the Czech professionally and later on in Canada, I spent always a few times a week, like in summer. It was like preparation for my next season, playing tennis. It was good for your health and for hand-eye coordination, for anything. So tennis is a great sport to play.
Now, in your spare time, I know we talked a little bit about this before we got on the show. What do you like to do in your spare time? I know you talked a little bit about skiing, so.
Skiing is one of my favorite sports. Actually, by the way, I follow it on. One of my heroes was also a skier, Ingemar Stenmark. I don't know if you remember that name, but he was an unbelievable skier in Nordics, by the way. So it wasn't like Björn Borg, but
Sure.
he was also one of my heroes.
Sure.
Skiing, yeah, I do. When you get a little bit older, you have to do sports when it doesn't hurt you so many times. So anyway, I still play hockey for fun. I play hockey. I'm not anymore as a goalie. I'm the defenseman for the team. So we go once or twice a week to play like in our beer league. And skiing is one of my favorite sports. So in winter time, we have apartment in the mountains, and I go a few times a year. I go there and do the skiing. Downhill skiing, No, not cross-country skiing, not the alpine skiing to go up, but I like the downhill skiing. And I remember even in Buffalo, we used to go with my family ski to, what's the name of the resort not far from it? Ellicottville? Ellicottville and Kissing Bridge, Actually, my children, I taught them to ski over there, and it was fun always.
Yeah, Ellicottville, great time. Troy and I know. Great place to be. Last night, actually, Troy and I went to the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame dinner, and they inducted, Ryan Miller into the Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. Have you ever had any interaction with Ryan Miller? What were your interactions with him like?
Not too much. We met a few times. Most of the times we were on the opposite sides. When I play for Ottawa and he played for the Sabres, and then at least once or twice I played against him when I was as a Red Wing, and I have to congratulate him. By the way, Ryan Miller, I'm almost sure he has more wins as a Buffalo Sabre than me. So he really deserves to be in the Buffalo Sabres. I mean, this is the Buffalo Hall of Fame.
Greater Buffalo Sports.
Yeah. And I think his jersey will go up to the roof in January. In January next year, in 2 months, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So his jersey will be retired in the KeyBank Center. What's the name of the
KeyBank Center.
KeyBank Center, okay.
Believe.
KeyBank Center, yeah. It will be so there'll be French Connection, Mr. Tim Horton jersey, Knox's jersey, Pat LaFontaine jersey, me. So we will be 2 goalies over there.
Mm-hmm. Rick Jenneret's up there now too.
Rick Jenneret, yeah. Maybe I missed someone. I'm sorry, I don't go to his building I go usually only 2-3 times a year, so I don't remember. But Rick Jenneret is there also, yeah.
Now, Rick Jenneret, I like to get to because obviously he had a long career with the Sabres commentating. Do you ever go back and listen to maybe some of your highlights and listen to some of the commentary that he had?
There are certain words you will never forget, and for me, it's most memorable by far. There are two of them actually I will always remember. It's a Mayday. Oh yeah, Mayday. And la 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 la. This is
iconic.
These are the iconic. It's the right word, yeah. And about me, I'm sure there are some good quotes or iconics maybe about myself, but these two I remember. Mayday, a la 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 Fontaine.
He even.
And what a great, I came to Sabres in 1992, and I think in 1992-93 he wasn't the guy on TV. I think he was at that time he was the radio guy, and later on he became, within a year or 2 or 3, he was both like TV and radio.
He was actually.
But when I came to the Sabres, I think he was the radio guy, at least for my first season.
Gotcha. Yeah, he actually gave us a little rendition of his announcing last night when Miller was getting inducted. He actually, right at the end, he goes, "I think I would be remiss if I didn't say, thank you, Ryan Miller," and he just started going off. So it was a lot of fun.
So I know you say you keep in touch with the guys that you had a chance to play with, but when you make trips like this back into the U.S. and come up here to Buffalo, do you ever have an opportunity to run into guys like RJ or anybody that you got to play with while you were here as a member of the Sabres?
Usually, almost every year, I meet with some of my teammates. It's easy to meet with Marty Birone.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Anywhere you go, he's because what the job he has,
Sure.
So I talked to him, and by the way, I talked to him yesterday. Yesterday we were in the Roswell Park Hospital, and Eric Bolton was there, Gionta, and my teammate who I played my whole 9 years with, Rob Ray, was there. So
Razor.
usually every year I'll go to see 1 or 2 games, and usually I meet with some of the guys. Every year I meet with someone. Like I say, with Marty Biron I meet almost every year because he's at the rink every year. But Richard Schmelik, I didn't see him this year yet, but I am in touch with Alexei Shitnik on phone. He lives in Ukraine right now, and it's always nice to meet with your teammates because it's always there is something to talk about.
Now, as you saw there, I was going through, we did the stature hockey, we did the ultimate collection. Unfortunately, we did not pull a Dominik Hasek card, so that stinks. But on a,
No, we did.
that one right there. Well, I meant out of that stuff, but you're right, that one right there. And actually,
It's me. Okay.
It's him.
It's me.
It's
You.
him.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's you.
Can I double check?
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't.
and this
The
is
face?
the picture. It's 92, 93
92,
season.
93,
The
yeah.
picture, I don't know
It's a
the
great
card
picture.
3 4, but picture is 92, 93. I remember because I play with these pads. It was my first season in Buffalo.
And I believe someone in the chat was asking, Dominik will be happy to sign the card for you, and we'll make sure that that gets random off. And we're actually going to have the box signed, and we're going to random that off. So, Tyler, I do believe it is time to start wrapping up, and we're going to do some randoms here. How does that sound?
Hey, Troy, I think your mom just won the box of Ultimate.
Hey,
Run
Mom,
it?
did she really?
The Castley?
Yeah, hey, sorry, Mom. I hate to do this to you. I love you, but we're going to have to rerun that random. You can't be taking that home.
4077.
I don't want anybody to think it's an inside job. So, okay, so what is this for? What was that random?
Major Burns 4077 won the Ultimate box.
Okay, great.
Instead of your mom.
Great. Sorry, Mom. Major Burns, you are going home with the ultimate box that we just went through there. If you didn't get a chance to see the cards pull, please watch the replay, and we'll see. You can see every card that we pulled there. What is the next one?
Now we are going to random all the cards that Dom opened throughout the day.
Great. So throughout the last hour that we've had with Dom, and once again, thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you so much.
All the packs that he had a chance to open there, and you saw the spread he had in front of him, sharing some great stories with us. Those are going to get random off right now. Is that going to Bill Dozer?
Yep.
All right, Bill Dozer, VMAX, congratulations. They're going from the hands of Dominik Hasek right into the package. There you go. See, he's got them fanned out there into your home, so congratulations on that.
And one is here. I don't pick up. Okay.
See that cleanup crew. And then we have one more. We have we did ultimate, the stature hockey.
We already did.
We did. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Stature
So now
hockey's taken care
We
of.
can sign the box and sign the Dom card.
If that's okay with you. Mr. Bandura. Chris Bandura, ladies and gentlemen. You
What a
can't see
toss.
him, but what a toss, what a catch. I guess I have decent hand-eye coordination too.
Card.
Please. And then I believe we are also going to do the box here. But there you go. You can see Dom. Gorgeous signature, by the way, too, because every once in a while, look at that.
Here it is.
Beautiful. We'll let that dry a little bit, but there you go. There it is. The photo from 92, 93, signed by Mr. Dominik Hasek right there. And if you wouldn't mind, would you please signature the box?
Next to the
box.
big, great one.
The great
The
one.
great one, yeah.
There you go. Look at that. Making junk wax from the 90s cool again. Having a Hall of Famer sign it for you there. So thank you so much for doing that. We'll make sure we random those off. We're going to run the random for that.
You have a great signature, by the way. So
Yeah, did you ever,
It's, you know what, it's fun to see my signature from 90s, 2000, and even if I see some of my signature in 80s, you can see like my style improve in hockey, even my signature improve.
yeah, evolving over time. All right, so do we have...
Metchler won the box.
Metchler, congratulations. You are taking that home. We'll make sure we get this shipped out to you guys. Remember, look out for a whisper from the DA Card World account. And then please send your shipping information to thechase@dacardworld.com. That way we can make sure we get these out to you as soon as possible. But we are over our allotted time. Thank you, everybody, for sending in your questions. Thank you for being active in the chat. But certainly and mostly, please thank you, Dominik Hasek, for being with us today. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I enjoy it. I'm glad to be with you guys.
There it is. So back in Buffalo for a short while. We're glad that we could have him here on the Chase. And, we hope to get a chance to talk to you again.
Now let's hope the Sabres win the game tonight.
There you go. Dominik Hasek in attendance. Go Sabres. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. The Chase will be live at the Toronto Sports Card Expo. Make sure you're joining us for that. But until then, we'll see you later. It's all about the Chase.